A royal shock. Okay, so imagine Buckingham Palace, right? All that grandeur, all that history. You think it's impervious to scandal? Think again, because behind those granite walls, a storm's been brewing. And at the heart of it, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Prince William. Their relationship's always been complicated. Christopher Anderson, he's written about the royals, says William basically just tolerates her. Apparently, Camilla's always been a little afraid of him too, and maybe she had good reason to be. The whole thing started subtly, like a slow burn. Whispers in the corridors, sideways glances at royal gatherings. Then, boom, a public clash. A private meeting, supposedly, where Camilla just laid into William. Criticized him right there in Buckingham Palace. Some say she was just exhausted, years of pressure building up. Being second in line, always in the shadow of the throne, it must take a toll, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the arguments, things got seriously shady. Deleted messages, secret trips abroad, and then the bombshell. Millions of pounds missing from the royal coffers. Vanished. Just gone. That's when William, ever the dutiful son, stepped in. Carrying the legacy of Princess Diana, he decided to find out what the heck was going on. He started digging, tracing the money, looking at documents. Every forged signature, every hidden transaction, it was all cutting deep into the heart of the monarchy. The closer he got to the truth, the more the palace seemed to tremble. Not from bombs or earthquakes, but from within. From the rot that was eating away at its foundations. Now picture this. Buckingham Palace, September 2025. It's not the unshakable symbol of power it's supposed to be. It feels like a fortress under siege, not from outside enemies, but from mistrust and suspicion. Inside the main meeting chamber, you could cut the tension with a knife. Golden light from the chandelier flickers on the polished table, where stacks of documents sit like soldiers waiting for orders. Senior officials are there, all looking grim, darting nervous glances around the room. Nobody wants to be the first to speak. At the head of the table, there's Camilla. Her fingers are interlocked, that emerald ring flashing. She's got that perfectly arranged silver hair, the expensive violet outfit. She's the picture of refined nobility. But there's a strategist lurking beneath the surface. And across from her, Prince William, poised, dignified, but with eyes that could cut glass. He's ready to expose any lie with just one look. The meeting kicks off with the usual stuff, royal budget, diplomatic engagements. An advisor drones on and on until William just cuts him off. He wants the focus to be on community initiatives, especially in rural areas. He believes the monarchy's strength isn't just in tradition, but in service. He wants to redirect funds from those extravagant banquets to charitable causes. You can feel the conviction in his voice, the strength of his belief. People are nodding, taking notes, they see where he's going with this. But before he can elaborate, Camilla jumps in. Her voice is smooth, sharp, laced with irony. She's fascinated, she says, that a prince now speaks like the crown is already his. Is he implying that ceremonial banquets are wasteful? Or does he think he alone gets to decide what upholds the monarchy? It's a direct hit, a challenge thrown right in his face. Everyone turns to William. He doesn't move. His expression is unreadable, but his stare, it's like ice. It's a challenge right back at her, and Camilla, who's been playing this game for years, just tightens her grip. That emerald ring taps lightly against the table. Then William speaks. Each syllable is deliberate, measured. Your Grace, I don't presume to command. I offer what I believe serves the crown best. But if prestige relies solely on opulence, perhaps some have forgotten that the throne's strength rests upon the people's faith, not their awe. It's like a winter gust sweeping through the room, chilling. In that instant, you can practically see the line being drawn. On one side, William, resolute, forward-looking, the future monarch. On the other, Camilla, the astute queen. Every phrase calculated. Nobody moves, nobody breathes too deeply. The silence is hanging there, ready to break. And in the officials' glances, you see it. The quiet tension has ignited into open conflict. A flame too bright, too fierce to be contained. The marble halls seem to swallow Camilla's footsteps as she leaves, the wall sconces catch her face, showing every line. Years of maneuvering, securing her place. Her purple gown murmurs with each step, like conspiratorial thoughts. She doesn't look back, but William's gaze follows her. It's ignited a contest. She knows she struck the match. Now she has to move fast. In the dim corridor, she clenches her hands, nails digging in. She has to force down the fury, the apprehension. William isn't some opponent you can dismiss with a quick remark. Defeating him will take more than a sharp tongue. She withdraws to Clarence House, away from Buckingham's scrutiny. Her study is all deep red velvet, crackling hearth on the mahogany desk. A small silver box, quite poisonous among her keepsakes. She sits, hands trembling slightly, and lifts the lid. A recording device. Contingency plan ready for a night like this. A cool smile crosses her face as she presses play. William's voice fills the room, but it's been tampered with, twisted, edited to make him sound awful. Denouncing Camilla, the royal institution. Camilla doesn't deserve to stand near the throne. She's an opportunist, clinging to the monarchy like a parasitic vine. We need to remove her before she destroys everything. An audio specialist, paid very well, manufactured those lines. Fragments of William's public remarks reshaped into a damning montage, falsified, but Camilla treats it as her weapon. She doesn't stop there. Neatly arranged on the desk, counterfeit paperwork. Fabricated emails, altered budget statements, notes implying William is plotting to oust her, crafted with precision. These are for selective release to tabloids, trusted press allies. Tonight, poisonous rumors will spread, sullying the prince. Camilla rises, moves to the window. The September rain begins, heavy beads striking the glass, in rhythm with the plot. If William wants to play the throne game, she murmurs, I'll show him the cost of arrogance. Later, in King Charles's private rooms, the firelight dances across a lined face, eyes dimmed by the weight of rule. At 76, Charles isn't the monarch he once was. He sits in an armchair, whiskey in hand, gaze drifting, maybe thinking of Queen Elizabeth, her composed steadiness. Charles doesn't have that, and Camilla knows it. She enters, eyes redden, hair slightly untidy, as if she's weathered a storm. Her voice trembles, every sentence chosen. Charles, I can't bear this any longer. William, he disrespects me. He disrespects the crown. I heard that recording. He called me an opportunist, a danger to the monarchy. He wants to push me out, make me irrelevant. She kneels, takes his hand. Tears streaming, gaze cold. What have I done wrong? For decades, I've only sought to protect you, to protect us. But William, he is plotting. Charles feels a tightening in his chest. He studies her eyes, remembers defending her. The recording, though he hasn't heard it, takes root as doubt. Could his son be conspiring? Or is this a misreading? He squeezes her hand. I'll speak with William. If there's any truth to this, I won't allow it. Camilla bows her head, a quick, private smile. She has seeded suspicion. It will grow. As she leaves, she pulls out her phone. Encrypted note to her son, Tom Parker Bowles, in a Kensington flat. Act quickly, leave no trace. The message is sent, then deleted. Secret buried elsewhere in London in a plush Kensington apartment. Tom reads his mother's message. The phone's glow paints his face as a slow, cold smile spreads, calculation replacing feeling. Outside, the September rain falls hard, each drop against the window punctuating the unfolding scheme. Kensington Palace, late on September 20th, 2025, is wrapped in a heavy stillness broken only by the soft percussion of rain against tall window panes. In his private study, Prince William sits at a walnut desk, the lamplight carving his features into sharp relief, his eyes burning with a quiet, disciplined fire. Before him lies a slim folder filled with notes on Camilla's recent maneuvers. Nothing definitive, just fragments feeding his growing suspicion. The falsified recording she released, distorting his voice into mockery, has raced through the tabloids like wildfire. Bold headlines, Prince William insults the Duchess, are shaking the public's trust. Yet William doesn't rage. He never has. He chooses restraint, and as Catherine once remarked, that composure is his most dangerous weapon. The memory of the Buckingham meeting lingers, the way Camilla with that icy sneer had taunted. How curious that a mere prince acts as though the throne is already his. His reply? "The people's trust is the true foundation of the throne" was not simply an argument, but a vow, his quiet refusal to yield. Now, with the false recordings circulating and forged documents implying his conspiracy against her, William senses the shape of something deeper. Camilla's strikes are never spontaneous. The provocation, the leaked audio, the timing, each move too precise to be coincidence. He knows she's concealing something far larger, though its contours remain obscured. Rising from the desk, William approaches the window, his gaze fixed on the rain-drenched gardens of Kensington. The faint lamplight outside blurs in the downpour, as if the world itself is cloaked in doubt. His suspicions go beyond the doctored tape. Lately, he's noticed troubling details: Camilla's secret meetings with unnamed financial advisors, abrupt trips abroad with no official reason, and her uneasy expression whenever the monarchy's future is mentioned. There's no hard proof yet, but William remembers his grandmother's quiet lessons. Queen Elizabeth II always said that in the palace, intuition is rarely wrong. He returns to the desk, lifts his phone, and dials an old confidant, a former MI5 officer turned private investigator. His voice is low, measured. "Follow Camilla. Every meeting, every contact, every unexplained move. I want a full account. Nothing overlooked." The reply is curt but steady. "Understood." William senses the weight behind it. The machinery has begun to move. This isn't only about discrediting a lie, it's about unearthing the truth behind Camilla's quiet manipulations, a truth that he fears could rattle the entire monarchy. In the adjoining bedroom, Princess Catherine sits curled in an armchair, a forgotten cup of tea cooling beside her. A candle flickers on the table, casting shifting light across her face, where worry etches faint lines that rarely appear. Intelligent and perceptive, Catherine has always been William's silent anchor, his confidant and strategist. She learned of the forged recording through a journalist friend and knows it's false. Yet she also grasps its danger, not just in the public eye, but in King Charles' faltering heart. She has seen how easily he bends beneath Camilla's whispered fears, and she dreads that this deception could fracture father and son. She steps into the study, her footsteps soft on the Persian rug, and gently lays a hand on William's shoulder. "You're treading a perilous path," she murmurs, voice calm but edged with warning. "Camilla isn't only after your image, she's concealing something that could pull the whole family down if we're not careful." William turns toward her, the fire of determination in his eyes softening only slightly. "You're right, Kate, but if she believes she can twist my father's mind and control this monarchy through deceit, she's in for a reckoning." Her offers a faint, worried smile. "A fight with her could cost more than her downfall. It might destroy your father's standing too. The public won't forgive another royal scandal. Every move you make must be precise." He clasps her hand, his tone steady but resolute. "I won't let her triumph. Not for me, for what my grandmother built, for my father, and for us." When Catherine leaves, the candle flame wavers, defying the encroaching dark. William remains lost in calculation, the steady rain outside drumming like a metronome to his thoughts. Somewhere in the city's shadowed streets, a man in a black coat begins to tail Camilla, tracking every step through the rain-slicked avenues. At Clarence's house, Camilla sits by the hearth, a glass of red wine glinting in her hand. The firelight dances across her eyes not triumphant but wary. She senses it deep down. This game of thrones she has started is slipping into perilous territory, and the board is now alive with unseen moves.